the God who sees me. Sarah just wanted Hagar to go away, to get lost, to get out of their lives. But God wouldn't let it happen. Why not? Why not just let her disappear? It's because she was carrying Abraham's son, a son that he would love dearly. So he met with Hagar and gave her a tremendous promise, not equal to Abraham's, but in many ways similar, that her son would not only survive, but would become a great nation, a nation that would come down to us today. What a promise. God met with her at a spring. It's amazing that springs and wells were a place where people met, similar in later times to the city gate. But during this time that we're talking about, it was at a spring or a well. That's where Abraham met with Abimelech to come up with an agreement. Isaac met with another Abimelech. We also have Abraham meeting with the Hittites at a place like this to talk about buying the burial cave. The servant of Abraham found Rebekah at a well. Jacob found Rachel at a well. Moses found his wife, Zipporah, at a well. Must have been a great place to find a wife. Well, Hagar meets with God twice, once at a spring and once at a well, and forms an alliance, forms an agreement. The practice that, the suggestion that Sarah had that Abraham take Sarah's servant was not uncommon for that day. If a wife could not have a child, her husband could take one of the servants, get her pregnant, and then when the woman gave birth to the child, she would do it between the legs of the master's wife. And then the baby would be given to her. The actual mother would become a wet nurse, which was very common during that day. Well, even though that was a common practice, it was not God's will. And by the time the child was born, it was not Sarah's will either. She would have none of it. She was angry. It was not to be. Think about these two women, Sarah and Hagar. Both of them, they had some things, very dear things in common. Both of them met with God to talk about their son and their son's future. These two women really had a lot to talk about. They could have almost become like sisters in dreaming about the future of their children. Again, it was not to be. Amazing how many missed opportunities we pass up simply because of our anger, our passions. Well, come back next time for more insights on the story.